Okay, we have to start over already, Brendan.
Welcome to Journeys in Focus, where every path tells a story. I'm Brendan, your host, and together we'll explore the journeys that shape our lives and bring our world into focus. Adjust that focus, come along on the journey. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Journeys in Focus. Today we're here with Ava, and we're actually switching up the studio space today as we're actually recording in Central Park outside the Ramble right now with the beautiful fall colors surrounding us. Ava, welcome. Excited to have you on today, and I can't wait to explore more into your journey through social media.
I'm very excited.
So really, what started you on your journey through social media?
So I think I always knew that I wanted to be in social media somewhere. Me being me, I'm a very quiet person, so I feel like I was kind of held back just being nervous to do it. But I think just when I was younger, me and my sister and my friends for fun, what we would do was just go out and take pictures. So when I was thinking of what I want to do with my career, I want it to be something that I have a passion and a love for. And I was watching a TikTok one time, and this lady was talking about how people in their 20s, when you're trying to figure out where you want to go in your career, go towards what excites you and what gives you that excitement. And to me, it sounds kind of silly, but it was that picture taking. And in that moment, I may be nervous, but it's also excitement that I feel. And as much as I was scared to do it, I knew that's what I want to fill the rest of my life with, is just creating content.
Now, is that really how are you getting the inspiration for your posts that you're coming up with?
So I feel like in the back of my mind, I do have ideas of what I want to do and what I want to create and how I want my brand to look. So in the back of my mind, I do have those general ideas, but then I definitely also do the research of going on to Pinterest and going on to Instagram and seeing what's trending right now and what pops out to my eye and what's appealing to me. And not only what's appealing to me, but what is going to appeal to the brand that I want to create and what's going to resonate with that as well.
Yeah, and really, are there certain creators that you are following that you're trying to not 100% replicate, but are there creators that you are seeing or that you're very much in tune to liking their stuff, that you're kind of pulling something that they're doing and using it for yourself?
Definitely. I feel like when I came to college, my sister actually, it was before Ella Rose. Do you know her on Instagram?
No.
It was before she really popped off. My sister found her on Instagram, so I was kind of following her, and she was in New York too, so we were in the same types of areas. And ever since I found her, honestly, in New York, I just, whenever I was like, what do I do today? It was oh, let's go to Ella's page and find something to do. So I definitely resonate with her, and in that aspect, I do. I think she's a very natural, down to earth person, and she puts that into her content. And she, on her page, when you go and look at it, it's I would say down to earth. That's the vibes I get from it. So I definitely want to give off those types of things, and I try to find those creators who are giving off the vibes of not as much everything that's trending, but when you look at their page, you can tell they have a personality to it, but it's still maybe in a big city or something.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the stuff that you have been posting is kind of giving that more calming vibe to it. Even though some of your posts that you have released um, do have a bigger impact in certain ways because of how you framed a certain picture, or you kind of thought about what kind of story you wanted to tell within that given post. And I really think that you've been following that line of what Ella was doing and using it in your own way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And really, when you're getting the content for social media, are you doing it all in one day? Are you getting batch content done, or are you going out every couple days just getting more stuff? How are you really going out and getting everything?
So it definitely depends on the week. I feel with like some weeks I feel more creative and other weeks I like just don't feel anything. And that's definitely been something I've been trying to figure out how to work around and how to still be productive in that. And so recently there's like a few days where sometimes I'm like, I have all these ideas. I need to go create this and this and this. So I'll have like 2 or 3 days where I do a bunch of just like recording and taking content. And then I'll have like 2 to 3 days after that where I just sit there and I go through and edit all that content. I schedule it, I get the captions out, and I get those all ready to post. And then there'll be like the next week where some days where I'm supposed to be shooting content and it's just like it's not coming to me. And I am struggling with it a little bit right now to just accept that like it's okay that it's not coming to me. I don't have to be always producing and producing. Like it can be working on a different type of content to just kind of make that a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it's been a little bit of both.
And what really has been the best part about creating the content? Like, is there something that stands out to you the most that you're enjoying that side of? Or is it kind of just like letting your mind go and do whatever you can do in the best?
I would say 2 things. One, I like when I have a general idea of what I'm trying to accomplish, and it might be a little challenging as I'm getting it done, and as I'm out there, I'm thinking in my head, this is not going to work out. But then I get home and I go through the content and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And then like in my head, I'm just thinking like when I'm out there taking the content, I'm definitely so incredibly nervous. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is not going to work out. And then I get home and I look at it and it's perfect. And I'm like, I just need to have the confidence. Like, I need to remind myself I can do this. Like, it will turn out good.
And really going out there and doing it by yourself and then going home and realizing like, wow, this was great. Like, I got to do this more. Why is it so confident boosting in that way?
I feel like it's just proving to myself that like I can do it. And a lot of the times I feel like when I was taking these photos before I actually went towards it in a career direction, a lot of the times I was like out with my sister just having fun and like I would have her help me take the photos. But now that I'm like able to do it myself, I just feel so proud of myself. I also feel like it has always been like I've always wanted to go towards social media, especially like going to college in New York. I loved taking photos, but I was just too nervous to do it. So I feel like now I'm like actually proving to myself that like I have the abilities to do this.
And since really, correct me if I'm wrong, since about February, you've really been on that social media push where you have multiple posts every week and you're constantly active on there. What really led you to start in February? Like, was it that confidence part that you didn't have prior to that, and February was really when it all started to like set in, like, no, I don't care how people see me, I'm just going to post it?
Definitely. So I actually picked up a 9 to 5 coming out of college. It was just like front desk work. It was taking up a lot of my time. So like out of college, I realized at the end of the week, like I would go home and I did not do a single thing that I went to college for. And like that really, it made me upset. And like I couldn't live a life like that. So it was like weeks after weeks. And like honestly, I was crying every single week. It was just like I could not do the 9 to 5. It wasn't for me. And I remembered back in school with my one professor who always said, like, if you can always do what you want to do, but you're the one who has to make that happen. So you can get that job to pay the bills and whatnot, but if you want to have the life that you want to have, then you have to put the effort in to create that life for yourself.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, if that's what I want, I have to set myself up for that. So I took myself out of the 9 to 5. I found myself another job that is still going to pay the bills and whatnot, but it gives me the time as well to do what I want to do and actually try and practice that. And it definitely, I think starting this, I did realize like I needed to be more in tune with myself and like know what I want and what I want in life. And like some people may look at you and say, oh, that's really silly. Or like they may just like make fun of you for taking a specific picture. But it's like, to me, at the end of the day, that is almost jealousy. That's how I view it, as like people.
Yeah, everyone's going to judge you for whatever you do. And
Like even sitting here in the park, people are probably looking at us like, what the heck are they doing?
Without a doubt.
And I don't care. You don't care. We're here doing what we want to do and having fun with it. And really, with your posts that you've been making, are you looking at engagement numbers, or do you not even care about that because you're just so set in on, I want to post, I want to just get this out?
So I am here and there, like looking at engagement numbers. A lot of it, I will say, is just like friends and family that I know right now. So I'm not really necessarily relying on that too much. I feel like I have the confidence of right now I may not have the followers who are going to love that stuff, but I think if I just keep creating that stuff, I will at some point get that engagement and find those people who do like it.
Okay. And really, when you broaden out into that more public spot where it's not just your friends and family, are you looking to work with certain brands? Are you reaching out to brands to see if like you could have some type of collaboration with them now, or will you like wait off a little bit until more growth comes about?
So I have been reaching out to brands at the beginning. I was reaching out to a lot more. I feel like I kind of slowed down on that just a wee bit, just so that I can like boost up like my profile and kind of put more out there of who I am and what I want my brand to look like. Mm-hmm. And then maybe slowly but surely I'll start reaching out to them. I've had some people recently reaching out to me the more I put out more content. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for as well, is just like having people see my stuff and say, oh, you know, we would love to send you this. Would you be interested?
And really, you've been doing more photo stuff. Are you thinking about getting into more video type of content? Are you looking to vlog, start YouTubing, or just having short little clips that you'll post onto Instagram?
Well, I was actually thinking, I definitely want to start vlogging at some point. I said to my sister, we have all these things happen in our life and we're just like, we really need a TV show. Like, this is unreal right now. It's like, actually, it's a joke. But so I am interested in doing that. Also, when I was younger, kind of silly, but I feel like this is half the reason of where it started. When we were younger, me and my sister had little digital cameras and I would just walk around the house everywhere, like vlogging myself, just doing all these random things. And like, I do want to start doing that again. I find that fun. And like, I want to be able to put that and make that into my own personal video and make it, obviously it's not going to be like a movie, but it's going to look so cool in my own style. So I would love to at some point start producing that. I definitely do want to start doing overall videos though. It's a little bit hard for me at the moment, just with like the equipment that I have and like finding people to help me with the videos and trying to get the best quality and whatnot. But I definitely am trying to figure out how I'm able to do more video content and have it be of good quality.
And really, like, I feel like when you get into more of that video side of things, it's really going to help that confidence level more too. Because I've recently started to notice after all the episodes I've been recording, because I've basically been batch recording everything, so as time comes along I have episodes that I could post out and have everything covered so I don't miss a week or have to like possibly rush to get something done if it's a busier week for me. And I feel like doing that every single time I've done one, it's changed and I've gotten better. I'm more comfortable with the camera. You could talk to it more easily, and just doing that every single day just makes it a lot easier and kind of just simplifies it in a sense, like, no, this isn't as bad as you thought it was. And like we even spoke about before, somebody's always going to judge you no matter how you do something or the way you do it. And I know there's people judging every episode that will come out, and I don't care. We'll thrive off of that and we'll keep pushing, and we just got to prove everyone wrong. And really, what is like your long-term goal that you're kind of like aspiring to like reach?
I think I just want to have a life and a career that I look forward to and I have a passion for. I want to wake up and say, like, just be excited to do what I have to do and have a passion for it and be able to fill, like, the rest of our lives is pretty much filled with working, and I don't want to have to sit through a 9 to 5. I want to do what I have a passion for.
And really, you never want to work a day in your life. You want to, like, when I go to work, I feel like I'm not working. I feel like I'm doing something that's not work. It's like almost a hobby type of feeling. Like this past week, I had a few events, and even though like I was working those events, I didn't feel like I was working those events. I felt like I was part of the event, got to socialize with different people and make different connections, but while also still taking pictures and doing what you had to do. And I feel like once that part comes about, and it definitely makes it a lot easier. You wake up every day with a different sense of like, wow, I don't have to sit in front of this desk all day and do this and do that. So really, what is, like, I know you kind of briefly talked about just style in the beginning, but is there a certain style that you're trying to go for? Are you thinking about, like, for your brand, are you going to possibly change it as we come closer to the new year?
Definitely, honestly. Now that it's becoming fall, I mean, in the summertime, I knew I wanted my brand to be like, quote unquote, one with nature. And that was kind of like the vibes I was going with. And I feel like now that I mean, I've been in the city a little bit more, and it's been hard for me, I feel like, to create content that's going along with that. So I definitely might broaden it, I feel like, in a way, maybe. Keep it more so maybe along the lines of nature, but I feel like I do have to broaden it or change it in a way. I'm not really exactly sure how.
So you think it may change like as the seasons start to turn over?
Yeah.
Like basically like every quarter in the year, like something new will be changing over. With now it may be more like fall type scents with like today, like even what we're wearing is very fall like
Colors.
and it matches great with the trees and everything around us right now. So it ended up working out perfectly than if we were to do this in the studio. But I feel like that's a great way to look at it, and it keeps your viewers engaged with it, because I feel like sometimes people don't want to always see the same thing over and over again. They want to see that change, and can you change? And then like when you are showing that change, how are you doing it? I feel like that definitely captures people's eyes a lot more when they do that.
Yeah, no one's ever the same, too.
Yeah, no, and look, 1 month from now, something could totally change from what could happen in a few seconds from now. And that could really end up being that full difference in what you're going to do for that post or for that month of posts, and how you kind of like structure everything to be. So really, what has been your favorite part about this whole new journey that you've been kind of focusing on through social media?
I really love just being able to like put my own thoughts that are in my head that like seem so far away into an actual thing, and see it be put together and see the final product and be extremely proud of the final product. I feel like the thoughts in my head that I have of like what I want to create, it's like I could never do that. That seems so far away, but it's like all you really have to do is put a plan to it and you can make it happen, and like you can do it.
Now, and like as you say, if you put a plan to it and you can make it happen, are you using a content calendar? Are you like writing everything down that you want to get done within that week or 2 weeks, or like is that how you're structuring everything?
Yeah, I'm a big writer. If I don't write things down, I will like never remember it again. So if I think of a content idea, or if I think of like an outfit idea or just a brand I want to check out, I immediately write it down in my notes, and then I'll go back to that. I sit down at my computer so many times and I just write down like, okay, I have to shoot this, I have to buy this, I have to do that. So it's a lot of like list making, and just like a lot of list making.
And now, what do you think is the hardest part? Deciding what you're going to wear, or actually capturing the content and making it in a way that could be appealing for your viewers?
It's a pretty hard question, actually. Because I struggled with what to wear today. But let's see. I think I would probably have to say it's finding the way to make it resonate with the viewers. Because to me, I kind of feel as if there's some things where I'm like, that's perfect. And then I show it to my sister and she's like, Ava, what are you thinking? I'm like, what? I thought that looked so good. So it's kind of like realizing that not everyone is going to appeal to my own eye, and sometimes you do have to take into mind what's trending, but you can also put that to your own brand and make that own, like, you can make that personable.
And really, to kind of wrap up this whole episode, you mentioned before how you kind of want to get back into that vlogging thing because every day something's going on, and it's pretty interesting how everyone's life plays out every single day. What kind of, when you are thinking about that, what would you want to tell that younger self when you were out recording all the time when you were younger and now looking to do it again and really break into it as social media is starting to take off in all different aspects? What is really the thing you would want to tell your younger self?
I would say don't hide what you want to do and just go for it. Don't ever put it to the side, and always keep in mind of what you want to do and know that you have control over everything and you can do it and you can take control of that.
Well, Ava, I thank you for coming on today. Glad we were able to switch it up and come out to Central Park, even with the dogs and the sirens and all the city ambiance surrounding us. But always a peaceful time here in Central Park.
It was so nice.
Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Journeys in Focus. After today's episode, I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to explore your own journey on a more deeper level. Like always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and share the podcast as well. Follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and much more. Until next time, adjust your focus and come along on the journey.